The Weed of the Week is sponsored by the Enlist Weed Control System from Dow AgroSciences, a new herbicide and trait system that will build on glyphosate.
Farming isn't just in the land, it's in you. Get ready to take control of weeds like never before. Enlist will build on the Roundup Ready system with new herbicide and trait technology, combining proven control of a new 2,4-D and glyphosate. Protect what matters without changing the way you farm.
Our Weed of the Week is one of the toughest that you're going to find in the United States and
in
really
the world.
in the world.
In the world.
Yep, it's Marestail. It's also called horseweed, but this plant is just awful in part because it's a winter annual. So by the time spring rolls around, by the time you want to seed your corn or soybeans, just about any crop, this weed might be big. It might be very difficult to kill. And by the way, it's probably Roundup resistant. It's most likely ALS resistant, and it's pretty tolerant to a lot of other herbicides as well. How are we going to stop this thing?
You know, here's the other thing is it has multiple flushes in a year. It used to be that we would see Marestail as a winter annual. Oh, it'd pop up in the fall. You know, if we did some fall 2,4-D or fall dicamba, we wipe it out and we don't have a problem next spring. Now it's popping up in the spring. We're seeing 5 or 6 generations pop up during the summer. We're just constantly out there trying to get this under control. So the first thing I'll say is crop canopy is a huge help. That's your best weed control you can get. If you've got a good, healthy, thick crop that shades out the ground completely, that's a great way to stop some of these resistant weeds.
Don't forget about a cover crop in the fall. Let's say you harvest early in the fall, put a cover crop out there to shade that ground out. That will help keep some Marestail down as well. The crop where we probably have the most difficulty with Marestail, other than cotton, would be soybeans.
I really like Liberty Link soybeans where we've got Marestail problems because now I can use Liberty a couple of times post-emerge in crop. And Liberty can do a nice job if we get the Marestail when it's small. I'm talking 2 to 4 inches tall. When we're looking at a foot, 2 foot, 3 foot tall Marestail, good luck with anything.
And with soybeans, you do have to start with a good pre-emerge herbicide program, but here's the mistake I see a lot of people making. They want to use 2,4-D. I just don't like 2,4-D in front of soybeans at any stage. I mean, even if it's a week or two ahead of time, I know the label might say it's okay, but we've had lots of people do it over the years and hurt their soybeans. And if you're not really checking this closely, you'll probably never see that 5 or 10 bushel loss, or even if it's a 3 bushel loss, it's still way too much. Don't put 2,4-D out in front of your soybeans. Here's what I'd rather see you do. Number 1, we want you to use the normal 3-pre strategy we talk about all the time in soybeans. That's a yellow, trifluan Prowl, a PPO, Authority or Valor, and Metribuzin. In addition to that, I would suggest you use Gramoxone. That will do a great job burning down Marestail. If you want to, you can also throw in some other adjuvants like methylated seed oil or crop oil, and certainly you can throw some fertilizer in with that mix too. So if you throw a bunch of things together, we can absolutely get that Marestail burned down without using 2,4-D.
The thing that I see is people using products that we can use post-emerge as their pre-emerge treatment. I'm talking about things like First Rate especially, and also Flex Star. When we use premixes of pre's that contain Flex Star and First Rate, now we can only use those products safely in most cases once per year. If we use them pre, now we have that many fewer options to use post-emerge. Now I'm not saying those products don't work fairly well pre, they do. I mean, I love Sonic, Authority First, Prefix, they're great pre's, but I like to make other choices. Then we can save those post-emerge products for our post-emerge use.
Okay, couple last things with corn. Just start with a good pre, maybe Verdict, that's probably the best. Post-emerge Status is the best. In wheat, same kind of thing, sharpen down. Follow post-emerge, I'd go probably Husky. But here's what I want to tell you. With the winter annual version of Marestail, which is what we do usually see, hit it really hard in the fall. Before corn, I'd use a full quart of Banville. Before soybeans, I would use a whole bunch of 2,4-D. And I'm talking again in the fall before you plant your corn or soybeans in the spring.
That's all the time we have for our Weed of the Week Marestail, but Iron Talk is coming up next.